Hi, hello, Juan here in trying to rebuild something from scratch. Today's video is momentum check and scan so I can keep sharing the journey. Not necessarily what you're doing, but the emotions that go with it. The main three things I check in is do I have MVPs and monetization experiments in market? Zero. Progress on ideas, but nothing in market. Content creation, which is something this sharing the journey, one of the goals that I had. Is it going? Yeah, there's been progress on that. And haven't spent enough time on research and career paths and things where I would like to play more. I haven't spent enough time on learning new skills, which I really feel like I need to work harder on that. But I did spend more time on diving deeper on the ideas. But what's interesting that happened is, as you can imagine, with Easter gone past and now here in Australia we have a day tomorrow, there's just so much kind of downtime, and it's the priority obviously being with the family. But it's interesting to start to play this, you start to feel like these personal routines and the narratives you carry in your head start to block your productivity. Now, what I've noticed is that it's really easy to look back in time and kind of see what should have happened, what I should have done, and yet some of these things didn't get done. And then when you have your time, your present, your moment right here, right now, sometimes it's hard to see what to do next. So it's interesting that when you look back, it's easy to go, oh, I could have done this, and that. But when you're in the present, you go, what should I do next? And that's something quite interesting that I found. And then there's this narrative in your head, and it's a story which is not the right story, but it does play in my head, and I'm not sure if that happens to you too, which is like we don't have enough time to do all these things. But I don't feel that's the true story, like the full story. I think we can't make time, but I just feel like there's this narrative that it's easy to say there's not enough time. Something really cool though is I did a progress on one of the ideas, which is, I call it at the moment, is reinvention, kind of an operating system or a thing to try to help people reinvent themselves, which is exactly what I'm trying to do, and maybe share the journey and find other people that are doing the same. So I worked on a competitive scan, looking at what's out there. I did look at super top level definition on the total addressable market, and out of that market what can be serviced. And obviously I'm going to start in English, so what's that more realistic ballpark there. I worked on personas, that's my background, on UX, love kind of picturing the personas, the people that would use this and who I would be hoping to solve for or help. I worked on 2-3 early conversations with people that started pivoting and others that are not sure how to do it. Work on defining the problem space, did emotional journey map, which is just a great exercise to see before using this hypothetical thing. How would I like people to feel after using this hypothetical thing, as I haven't jumped into a solution of what the product or service could or should be. Look at what core experiences need to be addressed in order to kind of differentiate myself from it's obviously a pretty crowded space. I looked at white space mapping, position statement. I worked on a little slogan, and when you start to work on this, it's quite fun to start to see what it could come out once you go deeper and you go, oh cool, I can see that in my market. Oh yeah, I could talk about that. Maybe this resonates, but I haven't put anything in video yet. I did do 3 MVP concepts, and I worked on a budget, yay, which are all important for me at least to kind of go into market and test things out. Typical me, I am a crossroads where I'm thinking, should I keep diving deeper on this idea, or should I just do what I did for the first idea into the second idea? And what I'm noticing as well, I'm just trying to make sure this is not the longest video on earth, but what I'm noticing with these is that it seems to me that I'm very comfortable in the zone of I like unpacking, exploring, diverge into possibilities, look at ideas, make sense, build personas. I'm comfortable with that, connecting the dots, working on chaos at the beginning. And then once I have like a structure, like right now with that first idea, I've got MVP, bit of a budget, there's something worth testing, like I could test There's no harm on testing, right? Then I go, okay, should I go and experiment something else? And it's so interesting because maybe the experimentation putting in market is that validation that I need, but I'm also very scared that you will hear crickets. And I wonder if that's something any of you feel as well, because it's scary. And like you don't want to be putting things out there that nobody cares, or that you may care, and you had this vision that could become something. And I guess at some point you just have to give it a go. But I just found that so interesting that I just went, I'm just going to go and test another thing. Let's go and explore this other idea. And then when I was talking to my psychologist about it, she was saying, look, you have done the work of, you're good at framing, and it's almost like you have a good scaffolding, is that a word? Building the statements, the things you need to do, the priorities, this and that. But the bridge from structure to real world is the testing is delayed, right? Like I have the structure, but the structure itself, anything on paper can look amazing. And unless you have the guts to go and give it a speed and give it a test on the market, then you're not really testing in the world. And that's just, I think maybe just want to try to avoid the pain of maybe something not working, but it's unavoidable, right? Whether something's going to work or not, you need to test. What a journey. I'm okay though. I'm just going to continue to see what happens. Really looking forward to see what's next. Thanks for listening.